Hello everyone, Josh first back again, bringing you guys some more over. And today we're going to be diving into a subject that was brought up a little bit earlier today. And basically the question was, is 4-star normal gear worth investing into, especially if you're comparing it to just a normal plus 0 5-star gear, basically with no dupes in it. So basically what we're comparing is max limit broken 4-star gear to a not limit broken at all 5-star gear. We're also going to be diving into some of the elemental gear as well, kind of talking about how it kind of plays a role in all this, in this discussion, and all the variables involved, outside factors, everything. We're going to be breaking it all down, and then I'm going to let you guys in the comment section below decide what you think is the route to take, and then, well, I'll be reading as many as I can in like the first 15 or 20 minutes after the video is uploaded. So if you guys want to ask any questions or want to talk about anything, definitely do so at that time. All right. So, basically, I went ahead for science, and I repeat, for science, because I would never ever do this ever again. This is the one time I'm doing this for you guys, so hope you guys enjoy this. I max limit broke a 4-star normal piece of gear. And it broke my heart. It broke my heart. Okay? Because I could have made a 5-star piece of gear out of that. Oh, and by the way, that's point number 1. So, anyways, as you can see, I max limit broke a 4-star piece of gear. Now, as you can see, the big advantage out of this is, of course, you get more status effect resist rate because the main substat did, of course, get limit broken 5 times. So I got 17.5% out of that. That's well and good. But what a lot of people are not talking about, and what I've pretty much realized within the OverHit community, especially since all the hate I got from my costume video, is people really value attack, defense, and HP in this game, and they value it very highly. I remember talking about in my caution video how you only got 100 additional attack, 100 additional defense, only 300 HP, and people are like, but dude, that's still a big stat increase. Like, that's still a major thing, dude. Like, that could still decide a game. You know? That's totally factual. It could. In certain situations, sure, that could win you the fight or lose you the fight, depending. I mean, as the pendulum swings, you never know. So, I mean, that makes legit sense. So, bringing that information into today's video was kind of interesting because, as you can see, we get 999 defense from a max limit broken normal 4-star gear. And if we go to just a plus 0 5-star gear, that's also a status effect resist rate gear, you see we get almost 200 more defense. So if 100 defense is pay to win, boy, woo! 200 defense must be right up there with the Megalodons. So, as you can see, we're getting 200 more defense from just a plus 0 5-star piece of gear. Of course, we're not getting as much status effect resistance because we have no limit breaks into it. And by the way, I, on purpose, used a very terrible substat 5-star piece of gear because I wanted to make this as fair as possible. But we are going to talk about the differences in the substats later on as well. So definitely stick around. A lot of interesting things to compare and contrast today. So, right off the bat, we have more percentage coming from the main substat for the 4-star normal piece of gear at max limit broke, but we're getting more from the 5-star plus 0 on the main stat, which, by the way, the main stats are the biggest contributors to your actual character and their skill set in the game. Substats are a nice bonus, especially if it's a really, really good grouping of substats on one piece of gear. It's really good to have that. It's a nice bonus. But the biggest chunks of stats you're going to be obtaining from this game on your characters is going to be the main stat, the defense, the attack, and the HP. So it's definitely the first thing that you want to eyeball up because that is what's going to be directly impacting your success rate in winning or losing in a fight, especially within PvP or even PvE or even against raids. If your HP is not high enough or defense is not high enough, you're going to get hit hard and possibly die. If your attack is not high enough, your attack percentage-based skills are not going to be as effective. Even if they have really good substats, if your attack is still not up to par, you're going to run into trouble. So that's one thing. So we're getting... Now, this is where we're going to have to compare. Is that 200 defense additionally worth more to you than the 10% status effect rate? If you want to compare just these particularly two pieces of gear. So that is one debate that you guys can, mull over and think about, and give me some kind of a decisive answer in the comment section below. It'd be very interesting to read what you guys think about that. That's what you'd have to compare. Is that 200 defense worth more than the 10% status effect rate between these two pieces of gear? I mean, that's just one thing, right? And you can do the same comparisons between the attack and whatever the substat may be on the gear, or even the HP and the substat on whatever gear that you're trying to compare. So that's definitely one thing to debate over. I feel, like I said, the most bang for your buck is going to be coming from the main stat. The substats are a bonus. And 3 of them on 5-star gear, not elemental 5-star, but normal 5-star gear, is going to be RNG based. As you guys know, all the gear has fixed main substats. All the gear in the game. Not Grimoires, but all the gear in the game have fixed main substats rather. So no matter how many times I pull a moon robe, it's going to always be status effect resist rate 7.54% at level 40, no matter what. Okay? Same thing for 4-star gear. So there really isn't too much RNG involved in that. The RNG is going to be involved in the 2 additional substats you get for 4-star gear and the 3 additional substats you get for 5-star gear. Okay? And another thing that you need to compare is 4-star elemental gear would be more or less on the I would say 4.5 star rating instead of a 4-star rating. So if you have 4-star gear, you'd call it 4-star gear. If you get a 4-star elemental gear, you'd probably call it a 4.5 star gear, because the bonuses you get in statistics is so much higher on elemental 4-star gear over normal 4-star gear. And by the way, you get 4-star gear and 4-star elemental gear from the same place. Raids. The same place. And I'm going to tell you right now, 4-star elemental gear is not really that rare. You will get it pretty commonly. You will get it several throughout the week if you farm raids consistently. You are going to get several 4-star elemental gear, especially if you're doing like raid 7 and 8s. Okay? And we have verification that you can actually get 5-star elemental gear from raid 6, which, where is 5-star elemental gear? I haven't seen it. But it's supposedly there according to Nexon. But, so yeah, I mean, you're going to be getting that 4-star gear pretty consistently, and if you're going to pick and choose which one to invest into, obviously the 4-star elemental gear is the way to go, and we're going to showcase some of the statistics on 4-star elemental gear right now. Let's go to accessories, okay? Alright, so I made this 155 because I wanted to show it, because I didn't have enough, because, if you notice my account, I have a lot of 5-star gear and a lot of 5-star dupes on gear because I focus more on 5-star gear and building it up. I'm not really too concerned with max limit breaking 4-star gear, even if it's elemental, because I'm not really in a rush to build up my stats because I've already beat the game on hard mode. So I'm pretty much just farming 8-10 all day anyway, so I'm not really doing anything additionally. And my PvP team is still doing very well. I'm pretty comfortable where I'm at. So I don't feel personally the need to keep climbing up any higher by building up any more statistics. I'm basically already focusing on end game by building up my 5-stars. But some of you may be still trying to build up 4-stars, and you definitely want to focus on 4-star elementals, because if you actually max limit break a 4-star elemental gear, it'll actually be incomparable to statistics of a +2 to +3 5-star gear. So it's very good. It's I feel like the 4-star elemental gear is comparable to like an SR hero and an SSR hero. At max and at +2 or 3 SSR, and so it's a very good comparison. But if we compare a normal 4-star gear and an elemental 4-star gear, you really start seeing the differences here. So +3 4-star ring, we got max HP 2,919. Okay, with one less dupe in it, we have almost 600 more HP. That 600 HP, regardless of the substats, is going to keep you alive a hell of a lot more often than that 2,900 HP. That 3,500 HP is so much more significant. And of course, if I made both those level 55, you're going to be touching up around, I think, 3,900 HP on this ring, which would already make it comparable to a 5-star +0, which I'll show you guys right up here. Look at that. Max HP, 3,864. That +2, just +2 elemental gear is already at 3,500. So if I fed one more into it, it's already as high as a +0 5-star. And then if I max limit broke it with 2 more additional dupes, it's going to be way higher. It's going to be well over 4,000 plus. So obviously, the 4-star elemental gear is the way to go, because at max limit broken, it's actually just as good as a +2, +3, 5-star. Whereas a plus or max limit broke 4-star, which will show back here again with this one. Where'd it go? Right here. So if you max limit broke a normal 4-star, it's not even hitting the base stats of a just +0 5-star. It's not even hitting those base stats. And then you have the 3 substats, which, by the way, could be higher percentages than the 2 additional substats on a 4-star gear, which I'm going to show you that comparison right now as well. Like I said, the only thing that normal 4-star gear still has over a +0 5-star at this moment is just a higher main substat. That's it. And depending on what that main substat is it even worth it? And then when you compare it to its additional substats to the 5-star gear's additional substats, it becomes even more kind of a lopsided debate. So you saw that it's $11.98. The other one was $9.99. Now look at the counter rate. I use this one also specifically because I wanted to make a point here. Counter rate percentage, 1.57% gold grade. The highest grade, the highest tier that you can get. The percentages might be able to go up a little bit more, maybe even a little bit less in that gold tier range, because, there is a range in between each tier for, silver, green, blue, and gold. However, so this is the highest tier available for counter rate on this 4-star piece of gear. 1.57% counter rate. Check this out. Where is it? Right here. I actually have a blue tier on my 5-star gear. That's 1.74%, which is actually higher than the highest tier on the 4-star gear. So this just shows you that the substat percentages can become way higher on a 5-star piece of gear than on a 4-star piece of gear. The same can be said on the 5-star elemental. The reason why the elemental has more worth to it is the fact that if you max limit break it, the base stat and the main substat become higher. Not just the main substat, but the base stat can become higher as well. So, bam. I mean, a lot of things to digest. I hope I didn't confuse so many people, but I mean, there's a lot of different variables involved. And again, when you're doing raids are not free. You have to use a raid item. You have to use a raid token. And let's just say that you get 3 4-star pieces of gear each time you do raid, because you get 1st or 2nd place, and you just get godly luck, and it's always going to be 4-star gear. Okay? If you do two raids, and you get 1st or 2nd place, and you get 6 pieces total of 4-star gear, you can now max limit break 1 4-star piece of gear. That's what you'll get out of it. Or you can make 1 5-star piece of gear and already be halfway ready to make another 5-star piece of gear. And guys and gals, there's only 5 different types of gear per different type of... That actually came out kind of weird. There's 5 different sets of gear, I should say, per type of gear. And what I mean by that is, if we go here to weapons, for example, we have the bow, we have the skull, we have the staff, we have the other staff. That's 4 pieces of gear. And I believe there's one more. Maybe there is. No, maybe there was only 4 for weapons. No, oh my goodness, I'm tripping. And the hammer. I was going to say, there should be 5, bro. There should be 5. So, there's 5 pieces. There's 5 different types of weapons at 4-star, 4-star elemental, and 5-star and 5-star elemental. And the same can be said for armor and accessories. There's only 5 different kinds. So, and we already know that all these different pieces of gear all have fixed main substats. So you always have a 25% chance every time you craft a 5-star to get a dupe. You have a 25% chance. Every time. Boom. Dupe. 25% chance. Wada bam. That's all you need to know. And I mean, like I said, if you do 3 raid attempts and you're getting 4-star gear 3 times each run, that's 9 pieces of gear. Boom. That's 2 5-star pieces of gear crafted, just like that. So let's just say let's say you do 6 raids a day with those odds. Guess what? You're making 3 5-star pieces of gear per day. Why would you invest in a 4-star normal gear? Why? What's the point? You're making 3 5-star pieces of gear per day. You bring that out to an average over a week, over a month. You're making a lot of 5-star gear. Okay? It's that simple. And, I mean, you need 6 4-star pieces of gear. Normal ones, by the way. You can't use elementals and normals together because you're not going to be able to limit break them, bro. So you're going to need 6 pieces of 4-star gear, and they all have to be the same gear to max limit break. Or you could just use 4 pieces of gear that don't have to be the same exact name. They just have to be the same type, obviously, and then you can make a 5-star gear, which is going to have a higher base main stat, or main stat, and the only difference you're going to have is the main substat, but you can still have better of your 3 substats. On top of the fact that even if you make it just +1, the differences are just going to be so minuscule that it's worthless. It's just worthless. I do not see, judging by everything I just said, everything I've seen statistically, I just do not see where 4-star normal gear is worth 2 shits. 4-star elemental gear, hell yeah, limit break that shit if you need to. If you're in a hurry to get stat boost, limit break your 4-star elemental gear. If you're not in a hurry, focus on your 5-star gear. That way you're already preparing for end game, because guys, trust me, we're going to be getting more story in a higher difficulty of story mode sometime in the future, and PvP does not get any easier as you keep climbing. And we may get guild wars at some point as well. But yeah, 4-star normal gear, invest into it, fuck that. Not worth it. I see no reason for it. 4-star elemental? Yes. 5-star gear? Yes. 5-star elemental gear? You're a fucking god. Congratulations. Go get a lottery ticket. But 4-star normal gear? Hell no. Hell no. There's just zero reason to do it. I don't see any reason. You guys kind of seen my comparisons. You've heard what I said. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section below. Maybe some of you out there still feel that 4-star gear may be worth it. I just don't see it because, you know, you can farm 4-star gear from story, but it's very rare. The drop rates are very low. So you're going to be getting mostly 3-star, 2-star, and 1-star gear fodder, which you're going to get quite a bit of if you manage your stamina properly. And you're going to be able to make all that 5-star gear. You're going to be able to max limit break all those 4-star elemental gear because you're going to be focusing on the raids that best benefit you in the first place. Right? So, I mean, 4-star normal gear, the hell with that shit. But anyways, hope you guys all enjoyed. I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. Subscribe for more here on the channel. And don't forget to join us in the Discord, which I think I already said that. If I said it, my bad. But I'm going to say it again. Follow that in the description below. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys all have an awesome day wherever you are and have a great weekend. Until next time, as always, peace.